It officially has been 1 year since LootMuncher, the godfather of the Q-Brush, and Kawa, the creator of Snap Jeopardy and Snap Pictionary, joined forces with yours truly, Ken, aka the SuperTechGod, to put on an event that would bring all creators into one room when battle mode was just a week old, to not only have a tournament, which the winner received cash prizes, a trophy, and others, but to also come together as one community to enjoy each other's company, enjoy in a movie known as Quantum Mania, and of course, have a good old time in one of the biggest cities in the world, New York City. So come with me as we indulge, go back, enjoy some of the things that were shown, things that weren't shown, some behind the scenes footage and images, of course, interviewed by the one and only top 5 snappers in the world. Sino.
Hey guys, welcome to Marvel Snapcast presents Snap Docs, and we are celebrating the 1 year anniversary of Creator Clash, and we cannot do that without the kings of Creator Clash. All right, guys. So let me introduce our first guest. He is none other than my co-host of Marvel Snapcast. He is also the creator of The Collector and one of the kings of Creator Clash, STG.
What's going on, man?
What is going on, my guy? How is your night going? Thank you.
So far, so good. Day after Valentine's Day, everybody's happy. That's all that matters.
Yes, awesome. All right, let me introduce our next guest. All right, guys, he is none other than the creator of Snap Pictionary and another king of Creator Clash. He is Kawa.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Pleasure to be here. Bro? I can't believe it's been a year already since
first Creator. Time flies when you're having fun, right?
It's wild, let me tell you, yeah.
All right, let me introduce our other guest, and he is a SnapCast OG. He is also the godfather of the Q-Brush and another king of the Creator Clash, our boy, LootMuncher. What's going on, bro?
What's up, guys?
Luke,
how you doing, man?
Fantastic. Wow, yes, a year. Jeez. Wow, guys. How you guys feeling?
Minute. Yeah.
It's crazy. It feels does not feel that long ago. Literally feels about, like, I don't know, 3 months ago since we set everything up. And yeah, man, it's wild to think how far we've come, that it's actually been a year since the first event. Yeah, it was an absolute blast to run. So many great memories from it. And yeah, I can't wait to reminisce on what Creator Clash was.
Yeah,
100%.
Dive into that, guys. And thank you for being here, guys. We appreciate you. It's going to be exciting right now, just rekindling memories from Creator Clash. My first question to you guys is, how did the idea of Creator Clash come up? All right, and we're going to start with Luke.
It was actually from when I found out about it. It was Kawa reaching out to me. I do believe him and Ken had already been talking about it. And because I've done organization stuff with the Q-Brush stuff and hosting other card tournaments in the past and stuff, they reached out to me to be a part of that. So that's where I came in.
Nice. And Kawa?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. No, whichever one wants to take over.
Yeah, Kawa, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah. Basically, I just spoke to Ken about this idea, and it was really interesting because I met both of these guys through doing Q-Brush, and that was such a that's really the grassroots of where the idea for this event started. Was like a super interesting format, a competitive Marvel Snap when there was no competitive Marvel Snap, right? When there was no battle mode, there was no conquest. We were just a few dudes jamming out in the beta when there was like very few people playing the game, like real OGs. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember saying to Ken, like, before the game even went global, I was like, how sick would it be if we were one of the first people to do like a proper in-person event? And I mean, we considered it for quite some time, but it was really tricky because we didn't know when battle mode would really release. So we kind of said, oh, sometime next year, this would be the rough idea. There was a stage where we weren't sure if if battle mode would be released or not in a state that we could all play together in terms of global matchmaking. So we even had like a backup plan of if we would do like the OG Cube Rush idea as well. So there was a lot of things to think about, but yeah, the idea truly came from Loot's OG Cube Rush days for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
Ken?
interesting because we yeah, I mean Kawa, like I said, we met through Cube Rush because Loot and Carbon
Yeah.
was running. Yeah, they were running the Cube Rush, and they rated me one time, and I was like, wow, what, you know, they you want to get invited to Cube Rush? Sure, of course, got into Cube Rush. Of course, met Kawa in that Cube Rush. This is like back in Death Wave days when Death Wave used to be the true best times in Snap ever. I miss Arrow pulling every card except we're not getting into that right now. But
Yes.
Kawa did reach out. I was like, you know, we should definitely do something like this. It'd be fun if we could do this in person. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I think we should definitely pull it off. We were excited. Exactly, we didn't know where the state of Snap would have been as far as getting people together to actually battle. But we was like, you know what? We can find a place, so get people in a room, even if we all just hang out.
Exactly.
It started from that. Like, it started like, let's just all hang out and have a good time. We didn't think about putting together a big tournament. It was just like, we all play Snap, have a good time. It'd be great to meet each other before Global.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, then of course it happened.
Yeah, and it was really tight as well. I really remember us like trying to decide. I'm pretty sure battle mode might have been out for like maybe a week or 2 weeks.
A week. Yeah.
And
it was close. Yes.
Yeah, it was really close. But yeah, it was just a great time overall, and there was a lot of organization that went into it. Like I said, like the main idea of it, definitely like iterating on what Ken said, was community. That's exactly what it was about. If we ran this really successful tournament, or if it was an absolute nightmare, it didn't matter, right? As long as we were all there together having fun, that's what meant. That's what was the most important to me, and I think it really showed through as the chat was watching the event and seeing their favorite creators compete, and even the really cool idea of, you know, getting different people up to cast, right? Not having myself and Ken just there, you know. I mean, we'll get into all the technical difficulties that happen.
Sure, oh, that's coming up. That's coming up.
Let me tell you,
that's coming up. But it's funny you say that, because how did you go about picking who would compete in Creator Clash?
This is a really good question, because like at the time of Snap, there definitely wasn't as many creators as there are now. So the main idea was definitely invite as many OGs as we could from the Cube Rush days, right? So that was like Loot, Ken, Val, who's another SnapCast OG as well.
Yes,
so
OG Val.
Yeah, we had those guys in, and then a few other creators that we saw, like Alex Koshia, who's like still very prominent within the Marvel Snap scene. And then we kind of figured if we were doing it in New York, and it was actually happened to be quite a central location for a lot of creators, right? I believe Eggs is from New Jersey, Dara is from New York as well. So it kind of just worked out. But my favorite thing, and I'm so grateful for the creators that came from Europe. So I believe at the time it was myself, Nina, Spessy, and Harry. Harry made the longest journey from Cyprus. But like it really felt special, I think, to all of us, because you really feel like these people are putting their faith and they believe in you, that you're gonna run just a fun event. Doesn't, if it's successful or whatever, that it's really going to be a fun time. And that meant a lot, because there was, I mean, at the time when we invited these people, there was I wasn't like, oh, there's going to be a $10,000 prize pool. There's going to be, I was like, we're going to go to New York. We're going to go to this place. We're going to jam some games. It's going to be a fun time. And that's what it was. Like, it was truly a group of people who love this game getting together for a fun time. The competitiveness kind of, we leaned into it a little bit leading into the event, because again, that's where the true nature lay with Loot's event. But Loot's event was never about like, oh, I absolutely obliterated people. It was about making fun decks and having a great time. And even when you did have someone who won, you know, it was 40 cubes and everyone else is down here only on 1 or 2 cubes, it was great stories, right? Like I know Binks participated in some of the OG cube rushes as well, and he had some of the best moments from it, right? So picking people was basically like, it wasn't like, oh, these set people. I remember throughout the weeks I was like, oh, who's new? Who would I love to see, right? I like Nina had only started playing Snap at that time, I remember, and she was like, yeah, sure. And
Right.
I think a big thing that helped was a lot of people hadn't been to New York
New
before,
York.
and they were like,
Ah,
let's just make it a
nice.
vacation as well,
Yes.
which is what a lot
Yes.
of people did. So
Yes.
yeah, it is truly special that all of these people were able to make it, and yeah, it was a great time overall.
Yeah, the
Nice.
list was a bit bigger than what it was. We wanted other
Mm.
people. We had like Malt and
Mhm.
Cozy and Dexter.
Mhm.
Like I said, funny enough, it was Malt. Oh no, Cozy had his son like in 1 month.
Yes, and
Right
then
after
yeah,
that, Malt,
yeah,
and then right after that was me. So it was
yeah, it
like
was crazy.
I only was able to go to Snapcast because
Mhm.
the Creator Clash because it was in New York, right?
Yeah.
Anywhere else I couldn't go. But the 18th was my daughter's 1 month birthday.
That's
Like,
right.
you know, she just
Yeah.
turned a month. So
Hell yeah.
it was, you know, we would have loved to have those other guys come out. Dexter, I think, was just starting too. And, you know,
Mhm.
we were even willing to pay for Dexter, like pay
Yeah.
him to come out. Like, we were like, come on. Like, you know, we really wanted a lot more people to come just to have a good time. We weren't looking for like big names to
No, of course not.
push it
Yeah, we
because
just
they
wanted
go
to really,
right.
really showcase the community, right? That was
Right.
the
Yes.
biggest thing. If it's big creators, small creators, and again, I have to say, shout out to Cozy and all those guys as well. I remember after the event, they all praised us for what we
Yeah.
did for
Right.
the community. Like, looking back on it as well, it's just crazy to think that this event was just kind of planned by 3 guys, and then as many people watched it as they
Yeah.
did, and
Yeah.
it was just it's just wild to think that we pulled all of that off because there was so many obstacles and things that could have stopped us from making it happen.
Yeah.
Honestly, wild.
Yeah.
Well, and see, that's talk about the people that played. I remember you asking me like, "Hey, I got 11 people. Are there anyone else?" Like we were like thinking like, "Oh, they play Snap, and they live in New York, so they'll be down."
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
it's just like
Like D
just
Money.
grabbing whoever we
Yeah,
could.
like
Yeah,
Demon.
and like
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
yeah,
it was-
because that was a big thing. Like we would have had more people. We would have had it much bigger if we could have, but it really was like, who can we get here and be here? And that was the thing from the person running the tournament. I was worried about like, what if one of these people misses their flight or just
I
decides
remember
not
this.
to
It's
show
like,
up
what if
last
someone doesn't
minute?
show up? What do we do? Because then the whole bracket gets messed up
Yeah,
and stuff like
exactly,
that.
yeah.
So yeah, we had backup plans probably on top of backup
And
plans.
Yes.
yeah, I was willing to play. I know Luke was willing to play. The
No.
crazy part was not Kawa. Coco didn't make it, but we still was able to
Yeah.
get Coco to play. But we were
Yes.
just, even though we love Coco, we were just like,
Mhm.
please don't win. Please don't win.
Because
We got
everyone
one-
would have been like, oh, Coco won. He was from home, stream snipe, all this thing. There was,
Yeah.
people love to blow that stuff up. But I'm
Yeah.
really glad that Coco was able to play in the end because it was just some last minute issues why he couldn't make it. But
Right.
yeah, like I said, a lot of obstacles that came up last minute for sure.
Well, it's all very funny that you say that because my next question is, what type of challenges did you guys face when trying to put this event on?
What challenges didn't we face trying to put this event on? For sure. I have to say, actually, one of the things that was the easiest, which usually when you're organizing events, logistics wise, that's usually the trickiest, is the venue. Shout out to Ken. He had that sorted from the get go, and yes, we did actually check out a couple of different venues. We wanted it to be very much an open space, which I have to say, the venue that we actually chose in the end was amazing because it wasn't like we're all confined in like PCs. There's nowhere to kind of chill out and hang out. Like there was a really nice seating area. We had TVs on the
Table.
side for anyone who wasn't watching, who could then watch the games. Like it was honestly such an amazing space to have. So that was actually one of the things that I really trusted Ken with, and it worked out brilliantly. And we did take a lot of time to decide that. I'll let Ken talk about. I mean, we'll get into the tech issues, but I'll let Ken talk about the internet. That was such a funny issue. Yeah.
So the places was just fun. We had two other contenders. One was deeper in Long Island, and it was a game place. Like they actually host game parties. And I sent the video, and Kawa and Luke was like, "Yeah, this is cool," but I didn't feel that energy. They were like, I know they didn't like it that much. Then we had a hotel. We figured everybody stayed in the hotel in Times Square, and we'd just party in Times Square. You know, we'd do the whole event there.
Yeah.
That price was way more than we expected. So
it's expensive.
When I was like, all right, there's an event lounge in an apartment building that we can get it for a good price, and the only thing is only 4 hours. So I was just like, all right, what we should do is book it the last 4 hours, because if nobody comes in the room, we have nothing to worry about because nobody can book after us.
Right.
And sure enough, we went way over the 4 hour mark, but we had nothing to worry about.
Way over.
Because nobody was using the room, but people could have still come in and watch. And some people did for a little bit, but nobody stayed because, again, we had the space. But the biggest concern exactly was the internet. So the building gives free Wi-Fi, which anybody can connect to. And of course, as you know, we're trying to stream and upload a certain quality. We have to make sure we have enough bandwidth. So me taking my laptop down there, I know, Sino, you remember because I was
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, watch me stream."
Yeah.
I had my stream at like not 4K, like 2K, and it was horrible. And I'm just like, this is not going to work.
It
Then
was really bad. Really bad.
I went to AT&T a couple of times, met this wonderful rep. I forgot her name. I wish I knew so I could say it. And she was telling me, try this, use this. But then she clearly she knew what she was talking about, but she didn't, because she was like, "Oh, you have a gig upload." It was a no gig upload. I trusted her, but nonetheless, we tested that out too. Same thing. It was like on 2K was not working, and I'm like, "Yo, Kawa, we got a problem." But
Oh, it was a big problem. Yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna do. Maybe we gotta run a network cable from out a window. Like, we were thinking about all types of things.
Wow, that was real MacGyver stuff right there.
Finally, someone in my chat said, "Tech, are you trying to stream at 2K?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "Try 720p." And I'm like, sure enough,
Started working.
720p was flawless. So, but we found out, we tested that out the day, like days before Kawa, well, the day before you came, Kawa, the day before you showed
I think
up.
so. Yeah.
It was just like the last minute thing, because I'm sitting there like, the last backup plan was we just record it and then we upload it. Like that was the final plan. And we were kind of going towards that because it was so bad. But thankfully, we knew where we shout out to chat, stream at 720p, and that was perfect.
And Luke, what was your biggest challenge?
Oh, I think the tech issues was the biggest thing. The tournament stuff was super easy. All the competitors were easy. Like,
you used a great platform, Lou. Was it what was the tournament platform you used? You were just doing all of it from your phone. I was like, this guy's insane. You're so good.
Yeah. I have no idea what program I used. It was some free website that I searched. Or something. But yeah, it was super easy on my phone. But yeah, I was running everything from my phone because I had to talk to everyone. If there was any questions, we had a couple issues where like games disconnected and they wouldn't connect. And so we had to figure out, all right, well, let's, get you to this life total because this is where it was at, and figure out all that stuff. Luckily, we only had a few issues with that. But yeah, from my point of view, it was very smooth. It was just everyone showed up, was great, fantastic.
It's funny how you use the word running, because throughout Creator Crash and watching, all you saw was Luke running back and forth, checking this monitor, running. I even told Ken, I was like, "Yo, poor Luke, bro, because he's running around." Yeah, we see it.
I remember that, man.
Yeah. I was like, "Yo, he's getting a workout today."
It's all day.
Well, see, I also felt that thing that, Ken and Kawa was behind the camera for the most part at the beginning, especially. So I felt a responsibility. I had to be everywhere at once, making sure everyone was good to go. Everything was running smoothly. So
teamwork.
Yeah.
All right. My next question, guys, is what were your roles in putting this event together? So we can start with Luke.
Yeah, so we touched on a little bit. My main thing was the tournament format, coming up with what we used. I don't have the best memory, so I'm trying to remember exactly the format we had, but it was 2 decks, right? And they just couldn't share cards. So if you used, Black Widow in one deck, you couldn't have Black Widow in the other deck. And that turned out to be pretty good. The double elimination definitely took longer than we thought it was going to, and definitely was one of the issues with it. But overall, I think the tournament, it was fun. It definitely set up a lot of, I know, especially towards the end, it just worked out of, I know the games with Eggs and D-Money, they were very exciting and close thing. And I think it was because of the deck list and stuff. And there was the whole thing at the end when, D-Money already faced Harry. So he already knew. So right off the bat, he went with the other deck that Harry didn't know. He was like, maybe I get lucky, catch him off guard. And I thought that was super cool with the format allowed for that to happen. So.
Right.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Kawa?
Yeah, so my main role was throughout most of the stuff, I was actually doing a lot of the socials for it. So I was trying to get people engaged, announcing all of the players, doing all that stuff, and then also all of the tech stuff. So it basically got to a stage where I was casting, and then I felt so bad because I nearly left Ken alone because there was so many. I have a picture somewhere. I'll have to send it to you, because
Yes.
Like from the front and stuff, it looked really nice. We had the nice backdrop. It looked sick. You
Yeah, I got
you
the
take a
video.
picture, you just see wires everywhere, bro. Absolutely everywhere. And it was yeah, like we got the players. So the biggest issue, honestly, that we had for tech was the players that were playing. We only had we had a main stage, right? So player versus player. They were using iPads. We decided to go for iPads because obviously, I mean, the game wasn't really optimized for PC yet. We could have went that route, but I had an app. I connected it up, but the issue was everything was hardwired. It wasn't like Discord screen share, so we had a lot of problems with that. So the casting desk was relatively close to the play area, so you can't be like, "Oh my God, Dara's got Shang-Chi!" Like, you know what I mean? You can't really be like that.
Right,
So
right.
I think I remember we tried to buy them like
We
noise
bought the-
canceling
yeah.
headphones, and the noise canceling headphones weren't charged. They weren't working, and it was just like
Not to cut you off, but I think we saw Eggs had said during. She's like, "Hey, I can totally hear you guys." By the way,
I remember that.
Yes,
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, I know exactly what he's talking about."
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So there was a lot of that. Towards the end, I remember I think it was Loot. One of the iPads was like losing charge, like was literally nearly dead because how we had it wired was they couldn't charge. We could just capture the screen. So it's like everything just kind of kept happening and happening. And somehow I don't know how we managed to pull it off, but it was wild. Yeah, so that was my main role, was a lot of the production stuff as well. I didn't make all the graphics. We got somebody to do that, but I mean, these two guys can testify that like when everyone else was out enjoying New York and stuff, I was like I remember Lou, I was in the hotel room asking like, "Lou, could you play a game against me so I can test the overlay and see how this looks?" Like I was on my laptop.
And this was the night before. The night before. We're sitting there 10 o'clock at night. Hey, play me like I'm trying to capture this, make sure this layout works and you can see everyone's hands and stuff.
Yeah, pressure. Talk about pressure.
Didn't you have to do deck list the night before too or something like that?
Yeah,
You're going through the submitted deck list like all night.
So a big thing, and it happened with the second Creator Clash as well, because like a big thing is if a somewhat competitive tournament comes up in Snap, especially nowadays, right? You're like, "Oh, what's the deck list so I can play it on ladder, play it in Conquest, and do really well." So people were really excited to see the deck lists. And I have to say, shout out, the week before the tournament, we got Untapped on as a sponsor, which gave us the $1,000 prize pool. Which, by the way, again, I already said this, but people were more than happy to just come and play and do it for the glory, right? So huge shout out. Go ahead, Luke.
Well, that's just one thing too. Yeah, remember that, because that might be something that gets lost. All 16 people agreed to come play in the tournament
for free,
zero prize.
With zero prize.
Just come to New York on your dime, play in this tournament, and win nothing. So shout out to all of the players for that too.
Even though we had a trophy and we had
the
this plate for them, right? The display for them, but we didn't have any money for them. And then, of course, like Kawa said, last minute Untapped, which shout out to them because we had no machines to show Untapped anywhere.
So we literally had their logo. So I was like, "Oh, can I try do this?" So basically what it was all of the deck lists were linked on the Untapped website, and I put them all up. But like literally the night before, I was trying to do layouts to show the deck lists, and I even remember during the event I was trying to cut to the deck list and like, "Oh, the game's already starting." Oh no! So like half the work was like, oh man, it was crazy.
How did the Untapped sponsorship come about?
I think I reached out. I can't remember if I reached out to them or if they reached out to me, but Untapped only just released their like overlay. Like, it's the very, very start of it. And I'd known them through when they did all of the Hearthstone overlay stuff. When you play Hearthstone, they have all of their deck list stuff, which is really, really sick. So I was like, "Oh, I'm putting on this event," and they were really, really interested. They said, "Oh, we'd love to try and help you out." And I can't remember what it was. They basically said, "How can we support you?" And I was like, "Well, it's kind of too late to help out with a venue or help out with all this stuff is organized." I was like, even if you I was thinking at the time, "Oh, we could have got them to get us laptops, get PCs, something like that." But they were like, "Oh, we'll just offer you prize money." And like they said, "We'll give you $1,000 and you can do with that whatever you wanted." So we had all of the costs covered at that stage. Like realistically, I've learned a lot since the first Creator Clash. Like if I was just the organizer, and this is what I did for Creator Clash 2, was I would do a budget for venue, to pay casters, to pay admins, because it's really important to me, especially when you're doing long events. If it's a day or two events, at the end of the day, people who are casting or people who are being judges or admins, they're working, and you should try your best to make sure that all fits into a budget for event. Because I've done so many events when all of that's kind of out the window, you know. And but you know, at the time we had everything covered. It was grand. So we were luckily we could put it all towards the prize pool for first, second, and third place, and that just gave the players a little bit more exciting. But the main thing was, like Loot said, I didn't want it to then turn into what was such a great casual fun event to be, oh, I have to win because there's money on the line, right? I was like, people, play what you want. If you want to play wacky decks, play wacky decks. The money is just like a thank you that if you do well, then you know that's it. So you know, shout out to Untapped for that. It was awesome.
Speaking of that, wacky decks, remember Drew Barry, I think was his name?
Yeah, shout out to Drew.
He had chat draft one of his decks, and he was playing a draft deck in the tournament as one of his decks.
Drew rolled the dice on that one.
Drafted for him.
Nice. Ken, what was your role?
My role was more so to, you know, make sure we get everything we need, especially hardware and stuff for the venue, as well as kind of entertainment, right? So not only did we do this awesome event, we also took out the players, took them to the movies to see Ant-Man, Quantum Realm. We brought out the whole theater, right? We brought out the whole theater. We brought out the whole row, and they all came out. It was a good time. So again, more entertainment. Then we all went to a bar one night. We'll get to that more stuff later on, but that was my main goal, was basically making sure we get all the hardware and also these awesome jackets, right? So Kawa reached out or spoke with Second Dinner, and they were like, we're going to send you guys a box of awesome things.
So funny, man.
And I'm like, okay, cool. So of course, you know, I live in New York, so, so send it to my home, and, you know, we'll have it ready for them when it's time to come.
Like 19 boxes. Yeah.
He said, you sure? Because it's 19 boxes. Like, yeah, come on. I have the picture, and I'm going to show it post edit. It looks like furniture, like no lie. It was that much boxes, and the boxes were huge. I didn't expect it to be that big. So when I first got the boxes, I'm like, all right, who belongs to whom? Because there's no name on the box. So I'm like, all right, let me open them up to see who's extra large, medium, small. I opened up like 10 boxes, not 10, like about 5 boxes, not realizing the bottom of the box in black marker had the size. I'm like, a black box with black marker? Of course I didn't see that. I'm telling you, right? five boxes, open it up, trying to be very gentle. So
and these are huge boxes.
Yes,
these are huge boxes.
And they had paper in them covering. So I'm like,
oh yeah, all the little paper that gets everywhere. Yeah, I
gotta move it to the side, get the jacket, check the tab, put it back. 5 boxes. Oh man, that was so much fun. So making sure to get all that stuff to the venue, making sure we had the Wi-Fi situated, making sure, you know, like I said, we did the movie tickets, we went out for drinks, all that stuff. So my part in it was definitely to be the entertainment, and also make sure we bring everything that Kawa sent over or whatever Loot sent. We make sure everything makes it to the venue and ready to go.
Yeah, you guys definitely put in a lot of hard work, and it showed, trust me. So you mentioned Second Dinner sending you stuff. How did that whole Second Dinner, because they showed up to the event also, how did that whole Second Dinner relationship come about?
It's probably on my end, and I'm still, I don't know if I'm still known, but everyone always says for some reason in the Marvel Snap community that I just find out stuff that I'm not supposed to find out. I talk a lot, and it really started off, I think, back in like the beta. I spoke a lot with Johnny, who is the art manager, I think, for Marvel Snap, who's I'm still really, really good friends with. Shout out to Johnny and Nikki, by the way. They were actually on the SNAPcast like way back in the day. Wow. And they did a really, really cool interview with Luke, Ken, and Val, and it was like super, super awesome. But I spoke to Johnny, and I was like, oh, we kind of had this idea for an event. And I think Johnny said, oh, his family lives in New York, and he might try come up that weekend. And then I spoke to a few other people. I think it was Ali and Paige, who are on some of my Pictionary episodes, and they were like, well, yeah, I mean, we might as well just take the weekend and come up and hang out. But it was mainly Richard, who is the community manager, Infinite Veritas. We reached out to him. He offered us to send the jackets and stuff, but then, which was really cool, which I don't think we really expected so much. I remember it was myself, Luke, and Ken, like, they were like, oh yeah, we'll come out and we'll kind of hang out and do a little bit of coverage in the event. I was like, that's kind of, that's cool. I remember Corey, who was the camera guy. Corey works a lot on, if you see any of the Marvel Snap trailers, like the developer updates, all of the animated stuff, the creative stuff, he does a lot of work with that. Corey came out with some of the most insane camera gear I've ever seen, at least. And I was like, oh, they are really covering
Shooting a
this
movie.
event. Yeah. And I thought like it was so sick. The fact that they came out and they showcased it, I thought it was like really, really special. Had a great relationship. I actually went on to meet Corey again, like twice. I think I met him in Gamescom for the PC full release launch, which was really cool, at TwitchCon. So, shout out to those guys, because without them, they really helped push the event and show it to the community, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But the short answer to how did the collab come about, I talk too much, is the short answer, to be honest. Yeah.
And Luke, what did you think when you heard you were collabing with Second Dinner?
I thought it was fantastic. I mean, like I said, we all kind of reached out, like in those early days, like even with QBrush stuff, I was trying to figure out and grow QBrush. So I was bugging Allie stuff like, can you tell me anything about this? I'm just trying to figure this thing out about this weird Twitch thing that no one watches. And just like, it was so funny. But yeah, just getting real friendlies with them. I think Kawa helped a big bit with that, with, doing the Jeopardy stuff and Pictionary and all that stuff that we did. Just really grew that connection. And but yeah, it was fantastic working with them. Because that was one thing I just remember that was really cool. I think there ended up being like 5 or 6 members from Second Dinner there, and just having time to talk to all of them and how passionate all of them were talking about it. And I can't remember, you just said her name. I can't remember.
Paige, was it?
No, the one that she saw someone playing Marvel Snap on the airplane ride there.
Paige. Wasn't it Paige? Yeah.
Was that Paige?
No, I think it was Paige, yeah.
Yeah,
it might have
Paige.
been, I think it was Paige, yeah. And
Paige and her husband, no?
Paige and her husband,
the one with the husband, yes. That's what it was. Yes. But I just thought it was so cool.
Bean Toes, right? Bean Toes?
No, that's Ali. That's Ali.
So it's Ali then.
It was Ali.
So it's Ali. Yes, Ali.
Because she was so excited. That's one thing that really warmed my heart, was she talking about when we first got to the event, and the only thing she talked about for 10 minutes was she got on the airplane and she was showing everyone this picture on her phone of this guy playing Marvel Snap in front of her on the airplane. And I just thought it was so cool. I'm like,
it must be
awesome.
like that's so special for all of them working on the game. I think honestly, for people who've been working on it for so long, to see how it came from all the closed beta stuff, then being the worldwide release to where we are today, like all those people put so much work into it. And I'd say it is crazy, if they're on like the bus to work or something and they see like someone playing Snap, that's just like, that would blow my mind. If you come in and work on something every day, and then the dude you go into work with is doing it, it's crazy. Honestly, it's wild.
You want to walk by and say you're welcome. You
see those cubes over there? I put them in the game. Yeah,
that's right.
Ken, how did you feel when you heard about Second Dinner collab?
I was excited, man. Because again, we doing this out of our pockets, out of our kindness of our heart. Just want to build a community and have people come have a good time. And then to hear the people who make the game, develop the game, are interested in being there and supplying stuff like this, but like, yeah, of course. Super excited. When Kawa said it, I'm like, you're right. Kawa knows everybody. This is perfect. So super happy when he mentioned it. But then I got even more excited when he's like, yeah, we're going to send the stuff to you. And then I was like, it showed up. And I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But nonetheless, I was super excited, man. It's always a great feeling that, and that's why I always give Second Dinner their props, right? Because most communities, most game developers don't care, or not care. They don't interact with the community, right? At all. So the fact that Second Dinner from day one, from beta, interact with the community the way they do and always want to be a part of it in any way they can is phenomenal. So I was super excited when they were even coming out to hang with us, not even just at the event, but even after.
Oh yeah, they hung out with us when we went to see Quantum Mania, which was really cool, because people who make Marvel Snap, we were going to see a Marvel movie with. I thought that was super cool.
Yes,
but shout out to them, honestly. And I have to try. I think I have the footage somewhere, but they remember they interviewed us at the end as well, and it felt like really, really like, oh, we're actually like, they're actually filming stuff here. Yeah, we made it. Yeah,
we made it.
It was sick. It was sick.
Yeah.
After the movie, I remember getting the variant from MODOK, because that's when the release or refresh was like 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. Eastern. So after the movie, I got the MODOK variant, and I was like, this felt great. Could we just finish watching Quantum Mania? But definitely a great time.
Nice. And Luke, you were talking about the format a little earlier today, and that's my next question. How did you guys go about deciding the format of the tournament, and can you tell us about that?
So I touched on it a little bit before, but yeah, it was
Mhm.
just us talking about it. Like I said, they asked me a little bit. It was something I've had experience with before. So it's just something we came up with. It's something that we've used before. I really like the rule of, having multiple decks, so someone's just not locked into one deck and locked into one bad matchup. But I really like. I mean, there's definitely enough cards now. There's so many more cards in
Oh
the
yeah.
game now than there were before. But I think there's plenty of cards in the game where you can create multiple decks without doing that, and that really helps the diversity and meta of something when you're holding a tournament like that. So that's really what it was just basically a holdover of what we did is just tried and true.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%. I
Yeah,
think
Kawa, how did
trusted
you feel about it? Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was sick. We discussed this for a while. Loot had most of the experience. I mean, now I've learned so much about tournament formats and stuff like that. Like, we could have done Swiss rounds, we could have done this, we could have done that. I thought double elimination was. I think the reason why I thought it was fun was because we wanted a lot of games to kind of keep going at the same time. But a lot of
we didn't want people to travel so far to play one game and be
play
done
one
all
game and then get
Right,
knocked.
right,
If
and
it's
then
just like
get
a
right,
single
yeah,
elimination
knocked
bracket.
out.
Well, I
Yeah.
traveled all this way
This
and now
way,
I'm
yep.
just not playing, right? So
Yeah.
the biggest thing to consider when you're always doing formats and tournaments, and it's what Ken talked about earlier with the timing is it's all about timing. It's so difficult because we were trying to estimate, okay, how long does a game of Snap take? We're doing single elim or double elim. This is roughly the time frame. We estimated to about 4 hours. Obviously, with any technical difficulties or stuff, we definitely went overboard. But that's the biggest thing you got to work on with format. But I have to honestly give credit where credit's due to you, Luke, because to this day, if there's any Marvel Snap tournaments that it's a 2-deck form, I still really like that because, like you said, it doesn't lock you in a matchup.
Yeah.
Even just compared to if it's open list or closed list, I'd still rather have a closed list of 2 separate decks
Regardless.
than
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
else. I think it works really, really well. But yeah, the biggest thing for the format was you got to try and make it work with the timing as well. So yeah, kind of worked out.
Yeah.
Ken,
Yeah,
how did you feel?
I just trusted Loot. I knew he was gonna
Hell
make
yeah.
it happen. I didn't even have to. No question. Loot, can you make this happen? What do you think? Perfect. I trust you. 'Cause,
Yeah,
again, the Godfather of Cube Rush.
Yeah.
of course.
He could have told us we had to switch cards every 3 games. We gonna make it happen. We're gonna let them know.
Mhm.
You the man. You say what you gotta say. So yeah, that's basically how it came from me.
Okay. All right. Well, and of course, the winner of the tournament was Ordinary Harry. Can you tell us about that and how you felt when he was victorious?
Man, there were some hype moments in Creator
Wow.
Clash, honestly. There was some super hype. I mean, the biggest thing for me, and I still say it to this, it's so fitting. And I think to this day, all of our Creator Clashes, the player who's traveled the furthest has won because we had Harry win the first one who came from Cyprus. We had Lambie win the one in the UK, and he traveled from
Yes.
Singapore, which is crazy. But I was really, really hype. And I think a lot of people still say this to this day. I remember after the tournament, because think about it, this is like the first big Marvel Snap tournament. A lot of people credit Harry. I'd credit him for sure for actually making Thanos meta or for like really pushing Thanos. Because at the time when Thanos came out, a lot of people were like, they weren't as high in the card as people are now because they kind of thought, oh, well, you want to play Thanos to try and trigger Thanos. But no, the reason why you play Thanos is to take advantage of all of the stones, right? That's really the true reason why you play him. And, he really invented the kind of lockjaw idea, or at least cemented it within the meta. And I also have to say shout out to him. It's so awesome that he brought in Baku in the deck. Like he's absolutely, he said it from day one. He's like, I have to play him Baku. And yeah, man, he crushed it. He absolutely crushed it. And I'm so glad that he won. And the final events leading up to it. And the funniest thing I remember about Harry saying was like, I never expected to win. He's like, I just came here to have fun, which is again is exactly what Cube Rush was about, right? I really feel like no one was there saying, like, the worst thing was I didn't want anyone saying, oh, don't talk to me, I'm trying to focus. Or I'm like, everyone was so communal, so friendly. It was just a great time altogether. But yeah, is there any special moments you guys remember about Harry? I just remember him holding the trophy and his wife coming over to hug him as well. I thought that was like super special.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's pretty awesome. No, same thing, man. Harry going into it with the whole lockjaw. When we saw the card list, I'm just like, what? Like this doesn't. I mean, it makes sense, but it's like really.
Mhm.
And him using it the way he did. Honestly, I think Creator Clash with Harry kind of made Thanos who it is today, right? Without Creator Clash and without Harry, I don't think Thanos would be that big. I'm just be honest, not to toot anybody's horn, but I think Harry. Remember, he didn't lose any games.
He
went
didn't lose
all the way
anything,
through
undefeated.
with
Yeah,
the same Thanos lock. Now,
he didn't. He
I
didn't switch
also
decks once. I don't think. No,
no, and I also think Harry and Creator Cash got Thanos nerfed, right? I think he got the stones nerfed. Oh no, sorry, Lockjaw nerfed, right? I
I
think
remember. I think it was Lockjaw, but the main thing I remember, because I remember I made a short about this. Harry's biggest thing about Harry's deck that I found really good was a lot of people in that tournament. Like we always did the breakdown of cards for Creator Clash. I think Loot, you worked on it a little bit, and it was just Shang-Chi in most people's list. But Harry made his deck be non-Shang-Chi-able. At the time, Thanos was a 6/8, I think, so he wasn't going to be affected by Shang-Chi, who then obviously killed nine power cards. So Harry like really put a lot of thought into the deck, but I also really appreciate, like I said, like I think he took the whole M'Baku thing from his chat, because that's what he always used to do with his chat. He was like, M'Baku from the top rope coming down. You know what I mean?
right.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So it was super great for him to pull that off, and definitely that's what I think. I think Quinjet, Lockjaw, all those nerfs that happened, we blame Harry for that.
Why Quinjet's nerf for everything? Yeah, just blame Harry.
Every nerf, we're blaming Harry for that. But no, it was great. It was a great feeling for Harry to win going into it. I was very excited for him to win. Remember Harry from streaming with no camera, right? Just a guy with this voice that was just, cursing at the game and playing awesome music, having great energy. And for him to come out to Create a Clash and win it felt so good for him. He really deserved it. So I was super happy he won.
It was really last minute for him as well, because I remember I offered, I was like, oh, you should really come out if you can. And I remember what it was he was like, I don't think he actually checked the price of flights. He's like, oh, I imagine it's just, from Cyprus, I imagine it's so expensive. There's no way. But then he was like, my wife really wants to come to New York for like a trip or whatever. And then I think he checked I remember this. He checked the flights, and the only reason he came is his wife said, you have to go. I remember him telling me this. He said his wife said, we have to go to this. And yeah, that's why he was there, which was awesome. It was amazing, man. I remember when Specimen spilled coffee over Harry the day before. You guys remember that?
We got that video too.
There's a video on Twitter of that.
That was a moment I was going to bring up. I was like, Spessy trying to sabotage and take him out before it started. Yeah, he knew.
Oh man, wasn't there some tripping over wires too? And it was causing some sort of
I'm sure everyone remembers that. Yeah,
we'll talk about that. Oh my gosh, that was good stuff. But yes, tripping over wires. But yeah, the shout out to Chalker, right?
Chalker for the trophy.
Oh,
yeah, making the trophy. It sucks that the cube didn't make it.
And shipping,
Funny enough, I still have the piece for it. So Harry was like, next time I see Harry, I have to give him that piece. So, hopefully, we see each other again somewhere, somehow. I'll give him that piece.
Yes. Now you mentioned earlier, Ken, that you guys did stuff before Creator Clash. You guys gathered as a group and you went out. What were some of the stuff you guys did? I'm sure people are interested to hear about the fun you guys had.
So the daytime when the guys hung out without me, because daddy duty, they went to like comic book stores. They hung out, like you said, especially spilled coffee on Harry. But when I did get involved at the nighttime, we did go to a bar, so we got to meet everybody for the first time in person. It was super awesome. Then we went to the movies. Went to see Quantumania. I feel sorry for Jonathan Majors, kind of. He did what he did. That's what happens to him. But nonetheless, it was an okay movie. We all left said it was an okay movie. Not every movie's going to be Spider-Man, right? We said that, but
sure,
we did have, but I think we had a good time because it was all of us in there, right? And it was so organized, right? Everybody had their seats. Like I said, we locked the whole row down. It was super fun, and of course, after that, being at the event in one day, not twice. We had food ordered, hung out, and then after the event, everybody went back to the city for karaoke, which I think was pretty awesome. So it was more of an awesome bonding experience. Even though it was a competitive tournament per se, nobody left there mad at each other or felt a certain way of winning or losing. It was more so we had a blast. Now let's have some more fun together. So
did you guys see Party Ken? Did he show you Party Ken?
Oh no, they did not get to see.
I think Ken went back on daddy duty after that.
You gotta get him a couple more shots. You see Party Ken, he dances all over the place. You guys got to see it. It's great.
See, we can't do that. The one night we did hang out, I remember walking back to the hotel with Kochia, having a great conversation. That's when I really got to know Alex. and what he does and everything he does, at home and work.
Oh,
and everything else.
he shout out to
Yeah.
Alex. He's so
Yeah.
dedicated. Like I'm sure
Yes.
you guys know who are listening, but Alex is a full-time teacher as well, and he still puts out
Yes.
some of the best Marvel Snap content. I remember
100%.
calling him. I was in TwitchCon in Paris trying to lock down like Twitch rivals from Marvel Snap in Las Vegas, and I remember it's like 4 a.m. I'm waiting for my flight. I'm sleeping in the airport, and Alex calls me and just for like a catch up, literally out of the blue. I'm like, this guy is the nicest guy ever.
Agreed.
So shout out to Alex. And I remember him telling us as well how much he enjoyed the event. Like he was all for it, and yeah, man, it was just awesome. That
Yeah.
night was a lot of fun. Lou, did you come to the karaoke? I can't even remember.
I did not remember. I had the flight out.
Oh, you had like the worst
in the
flight,
morning.
bro.
Yeah.
So I had like by the time we got back to the hotel, I had 4 hours before I had to get up by myself. First time being in New York, find my way to the airport, airplane. So
Oh no.
Yeah,
That's messed up, Lou. That's
yeah,
messed
man.
up.
Karaoke was so much fun though. I remember some of the
who was the best at karaoke, Kawa? Like,
Oh, who was the best at
who was
karaoke?
the best?
Oh my God.
Slow down,
The first day I played, and I was like, bro, my dad was like, I had my phone connected to my phone. My dad was texting me like wanting food. I'm like, oh my god,
come on. I loved you with this thing. You were there for me. So now it's time to leave.
D Money gave it his all, man. Oh, he really went
Awesome.
good, man.
That sounds
He
like
did.
really-
You remember
Yeah.
the song?
Oh, well, I actually can't remember the song,
Okay,
man.
all right.
I can't
We
remember
got
the song.
videos.
So
We got
long
videos.
ago.
We got videos.
Oh, no, D Money, but believe it or not, and I remember this was the moment, right? So like sometimes on stream, you know a streamer, you watch them and stuff, but you're not too sure. Maybe they'll be a little bit different off camera or whatever.
Yeah.
This was the moment that I saw Dara in a whole new light, man. I swear he was all in on the karaoke, man. It was so much fun. Like that night was an absolute blast. We all did different songs. I think we did we did Come and Get Your Love from Guardians of the
Wow.
Galaxy, and I remember
Yes.
Ali filmed it and then sent it to the second dinner team because of course we had to do like a Marvel
Yeah.
song, which was absolutely sick. Oh man, that I have a lot of videos on my phone still of that night. I'll have to send them over.
Now, did you participate in the karaoke?
Oh, I did, and I don't want to talk about it. It was so bad. It was so
We had to get
bad.
into good stuff. Like, what song did you sing?
Oh, I think I did. I remember why I did it at the time as well. So, do you guys remember? I think it was when Marvel Snap launched. There was the song "Hero." "Hero," I think is a Marvel Snap song, and that was sung by Jake. And Jake does what's the song? I think it's Golden Hour. You guys have probably heard of Golden Hour, and it's like the most high. You need like the perfect
High
voice
pitch.
with the high pitch, and I'm there like, and I was like, oh man. But it was so much fun, honestly.
That's awesome.
Oh, it was great.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm
awesome.
glad to hear that all that went down, man. That sounds like good times. I definitely missed out on that. So you mentioned Creator Clash 2.0. Can you tell us some about that? And just quickly give us a rundown on how that went down.
Yeah. Well, I'll say unfortunately the two gents beside me here, they could not attend. I know Ken really, really, really wanted to come, but something came up.
He was sweaty about it. Yeah,
I was so mad. Guys.
But shout out to Raven. Raven helped us out a lot on that. We did it in his hometown of Manchester. And again, like if you saw Creator Clash 1, it's very, very similar vibes. I remember so many great memories. We have like highlights of that event on my channel and stuff like that. Like I remember just turning the camera, showing Harry putting a massive donut into his mouth, breaks and stuff. Like, it was great. But like that event had its own problems as well. So that event, we had the PCs running, and we had to do Discord screen share and stuff. And bro, like the internet, it was a bit dodgy. It was very, very pixelated and stuff. But the worst thing was, I don't know, like the UK and Ireland, where I'm from, think of weather, you think of like, it's kind of just like rainy, a little bit cold, a little bit like just overcast, that type of stuff. We did the event in the hottest time. I think it was like a record breaking time for how hot it was in the UK. So for some, any Americans on the West Coast or stuff, you probably, it's fine. We had some Americans there. Oh my God. Some people were ready to take their shirt off. Honestly, it was that bad. I remember we had Spessy in the very back corner who was streaming. You watch his stream, literally sweat all over his t-shirt. His face is like dripping because there was like one fan throughout the whole place blowing air. And obviously, if you're in a venue where 16 PCs are running, that's going to generate a lot of heat, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was probably the biggest, the funniest thing about that. I remember day 2 of that event that we went to the venue, showed up, said, stream's going to start at this time. Guys weren't even in the shop to open up. We were there before the people.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, it was crazy, man. I remember, and then they tried to open the shutters. So the shutters for the building, the shutters opened this much. We had our players crawling underneath the shutters to get in. And then they were like, "Oh, we need to start the stream. Come on. We left our equipment there overnight because we didn't want to have to reset up. But there was like, they were like, "Oh, if this stuff gets stolen, it's stolen." So it was.
Hey, they take it. I ain't got
Wow.
no. That's messed up, man.
There was some crazy stuff about that, but that event meant a lot to me as well because it was kind of close to home. It really cemented the friendship I have with Raven. I go over to Raven probably at least once every month to do events with him, hang out with him and his partner and stuff like that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, UK Creator Clash was, just think of the same one as the same thing as the first one, but just with we had some new people attend as well. Just new location, but same vibes. Honestly, it was great.
With your champion being Lambie, right?
Of course. Oh
yes,
man, and Lambie
awesome.
making such a journey to come over as well. But yeah, shout out to him. He absolutely crushed it. I specifically, there's one game from Creator Clash 2 where it was like Den versus Lambie, because Den was on a roll. Den was like, I think like 5-0 or 6-0 or whatever it was. And I think he got Lambie down to 1Q. It was like 9-1. In Conquest or in Battle Mode, when it gets to that, every single game. I remember he won it off the crazy stuff. Like he did like a Doc Ock. It pulled like I remember it. No, it was sick. So someone did a Doc Ock, and there was already a beast on the board, and I pulled an Odin. Odin triggered the beast to pull up all of the power at the end. It was just like insane stuff. Honestly, we were all freaking out. So yeah, man, it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. And also, I have to say, shout out to Glap, who honestly, that event would not have been possible without him. He put up 5,000 big ones, 5,000 USD for the prize pool for that event. So yeah, shout out to him, man. The community, that's what I'm going to say. He's just a true member of the community that was like, I want to support this event. And again, it's all a circle where we're always coming back to key part of Snap is the community, in my opinion, for sure.
100%.
That's dope. Okay, guys, my next question is, and we'll throw it to Luke for to start off. Are you still playing Snap, and what are you working on now?
I play every single day still.
Nice.
A little too much, but try to get in when I can. And but yeah, I'm not doing much of content creation. I did recently start at the beginning of the year. I've always been into game design and stuff like that, and always one of the first things I did with Marvel Snap was like, shout out to Willow. Also, he did the same thing of just like, let's make a custom card. Like, there's only so many cards. Like, what if this character was in the game, did this effect and stuff like that? Since January 1st, I've been posting on my Twitter.
Yes, I've been seeing it. They look awesome.
So I've been posting every day. I'm up to 46 today. So every day I'm posting a new card. And that's just a fun thing I like to do. Just have something I can post and just talk about people, and that's one of the cool things too, is a shout out, just again, Marvel Snap community being awesome. There's always a group of people talking about it. This is a terrible design, or this is a cool design. Like, and I'm open to all opinions, let me know if it's good or bad, And that's some things too. Some ideas I throw out there, I'm just like, I understand this is crazy. Don't get me wrong. But what if it could be fun?
Right, exactly.
That's right.
I believe that's actually how, like, who knows, Lou? I believe that's how one of the Hearthstone devs got hired. He was, for a solid year on Reddit, he posted a custom card every day, and then they hired him because his designs are pretty sick. So who knows?
Well,
Yeah, there you go.
Well, see, that was a funny thing when I started this. I knew I was going to do it because I have a weird brain. Once my brain starts getting creative on something, it just happens. I can't control it. So I was thinking about custom cards one day, and I just started making them on my phone. And then before I knew it, over like a day or two, I made like 40 of them.
Yeah, it's
And I
crazy.
made a poll, and I
Wow.
was like, I have a whole bunch of Marvel Snap cards. Should I post them all at once or day by day? And people voted and said day by day, so that's what I started doing. But
Nice.
yeah, it's just so funny. But when I started doing that, I thought about that Kawa because I was like, what would Kawa do? How do I market this? How do I get out there? So I post, this is day 46 of posting a custom Marvel Snap card. Until I don't, it was gonna be until I get hired by Second Dinner. But that's a little too much pressure.
All right, we're speaking it into existence, bro.
Yeah.
There you go.
Kawa?
Yeah, I'm still playing Snap every day. Playing on my phone every single day.
Nice.
In terms of what I'm working on right now, kind of similar to Lou, I'm not doing as much content as I would like to do with Snap at the moment. Like, my main thing used to be every Tuesday at least I would guarantee get the new card video out. That's actually where I gained a lot of followers back in the day when Series 4 and Series 5 came out. A lot of people couldn't have all the cards, so luckily I was able to cover most of them. But I'm just doing part-time work at the moment, ticking away. But a big passion of mine at the moment is actually a new card game as well, kind of coincide with Marvel Snap, and that's Disney Lorcana, which is a physical card game. I've never played physical card games before. It's my first physical TCG, and I know Luke came from a huge Magic background and stuff like that. So I've learned a lot through the game. I think the thing that I've loved the most about it is very similar to Snap, the social interaction, and it's a really great feeling. We saw it from Creator Clash of playing opposite someone, actually physically playing and interacting and just chatting with them. Oh, did you see this new cool card? This interaction stuff. It's just a lot of fun, and of course, I get to share that with my fiance as well, who I play with all the time. So
nice.
That's
I would
awesome.
say that's one of my main focuses at the moment. There's going to be official organized play announced, a bigger announcement coming next month, which will be the true competitive scene for the game, where they're going to do like NA championships, EU championships. They're going to lead to like a world. I was going to say, if a Disney card game is doing a world championship, it better be in Disneyland. Let me tell you, it better be in Disney Castle, Mickey Mouse beside me over my shoulder. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But yeah, my dream right now, and I'm really trying to do it, is it all comes back from Creator Clash. I love to compete in events. That's the main thing I'm doing right now. But I'd love to cast some events, some physical card games, because again, this is a space that I haven't really dived too much into. So I just love learning more and trying to get into that. So alongside all the Snap stuff I'm doing, I'm still doing Snap, of course. Like I said, I'm playing every day. I'm hoping for something spicy soon, or draft mode, or something to really bring me back into streaming loads. But yeah, that's me at the moment.
Hey, who knows? You might get it, bro.
Yeah,
you might get
I hope
it.
so. I mean, Kawa, talk to somebody. You talk to somebody.
You got the connection.
Let me tell you, Ken,
Paul's been broed up. How many times is he on his YouTube channel?
Exactly.
Call him up.
I have talked to them multiple times. I mean, I played draft mode with Ben during my subathon, and he's like, "This is a really cool idea." I'm like, "Yeah, I know it's a cool idea. Put it in the game."
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Use it, man. Use it.
Yeah.
Ken?
Yeah. To still play every day. Stream as much as I can. You
I
already know
still
this
have every
already.
variant in the game,
Yes.
as you do.
Every variant? Really?
I didn't get Magneto yet, but we will get to that. But yes, every variant in the game. Yeah, listen, I love the community. I'm always streaming, always interacting with people, always doing giveaways, always on Twitter, always having a good time. So yeah, I'm still enjoying the game. But yeah, I totally agree with Kyle. We need some spice to spice up a little bit more as well to get people more excited about it. I think people are, especially on Tuesdays until about Thursdays, right? And then everybody's just like, okay, what's next to do? The meta changes, etc. But no, of course, still enjoying Snap. I think Snap has a long way to go. Still excited for a lot of Marvel projects coming out, which will also make Snap even more exciting, right? like the return of the X-Men 97. Like that alone, I
That's gonna be
think
cool. Mhm.
I think hopefully Snap, capitalizes on that as well. So yeah, I'm still enjoying the game. You know that already. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, I did dabble playing the corner for a little bit. I do have some physical cards I did buy when they were, hard to get. So
Mhm.
I definitely do like the card game. Of course, I still play Yu-Gi-Oh with my son, the physical Yu-Gi-Oh card game. But Snap still snapping it up.
Still snapping it up.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like it.
Yes, sir.
I like it. All right, guys. This is the question that we got the drum roll. Brrrr. Can we expect a Creator Clash 3?
Well, let me tell you,
Question.
as a exclusive on the Snapcast here, we're
go.
actually trying to plan a 1-year anniversary event, which would have been dope. It would have been absolutely sick. We were
Yeah.
gonna try to do it in New
Yes.
York again, but some things fell through. I think we're all just in a little bit a few kind of different places at the moment.
Okay.
And the biggest thing was, with the first event, we really invested so much time, so much energy, and so much money as well into it, right? So I like, without the help of the community, which I'm sure if we decided to announce it and go for it, the community would definitely support us. But
Right.
I'm not I'm still open to the idea. I have some cool ideas of stuff to do. I'm kind of thinking of a Marvel Snap Disney crossover, kind of a
Okay.
little,
All right.
Snap one day, Disney the next day type of stuff. So I've got plans in my head still. It's definitely a possibility, but if we were to do it, I feel like I would still I would want it to be bigger and better than the last one. I think you always want to iterate and make it super
Right.
good. So if it was to come, I think it would probably be later on this year, maybe even next year. We're seeing a lot of stuff happening with Snap, right? We're seeing Newverse have slowly left the
Yeah,
scene. We're going to see new
definitely, yeah.
publishers and stuff. So I don't know if it's ultimately if it's Newverse or Second Dinner who are going to do official events or not, all this type of stuff.
Right.
But either way, I know with Second Dinner we've always had the support from them. So I mean, it would be dope. Like, just imagine if Creator Clash 3 was fully supported by Snap or something like that. That would honestly be the dream, because we
Right.
could
Yeah.
really work together to make a lot of things happen. But again, who knows? I'm still open to the idea for sure.
Okay, Lou, what do you think about a Creator Clash 3? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm ready. Someone's just got to tell me where. But yeah, it's definitely something we've talked about. Like you said, we were talking about something for the 1 year, and we weren't able to make that work out. But it's definitely something that I'd definitely be interested in. I really hope that what we were talking about earlier. I hope Second Dinner gives us something spicy. That's what would really, like, if they did something where, like, hey, in June we're gonna do like another drop, like 20 cards are gonna come out once.
Oh yeah.
That's when I would want to do an event like that week when like 20
Right,
cards
right,
drop. So
right,
all the
right.
players, and it will change the meta so crazy.
Mhm.
Like, that's something spicy like that. Or hey, we're introducing something in battle mode where you can like set rules or set like how often like
A location
locations
comes up.
pop up and
Yeah.
stuff like that. If you could do that, then that's super cool as like a tournament mode where you could kind of craft a meta of how often locations can pop up and stuff.
That's
Yeah.
something
So-
we talked about a lot at the start. I remember we were like, oh, it'd be really cool for locations if we could, like, because I mean, it's part of Snap. Some people are always like, oh, I was in my Infinity Conquest game when Ego popped and I lost 8 cubes, blah, blah. At the end of the day, that's part of Snap. That's what the
Yeah.
game is.
Yeah.
But
Right.
maybe some people would like a little bit of like, okay, let's just put Ego and World Ship to the side and just play with the
Yeah.
other stuff. So I don't think it's just the locations, but like more customizability. I think the biggest thing holding back doing more really highly produced events and stuff like that. Honest, I mean, I've spoken about this so many times as a spectator mode. And
Yeah. 100%.
like I don't imagine it would be that hard to do. I'm hoping that maybe after they do guilds, which they've been talking about for ages, right? Like that once more kind of real social features come into the game of being on part of this guild and part of this, that they added in. But yeah, I really have hope for that.
Which, if you think about it, kind of makes sense. Maybe that's their way of getting it in the game. Because you talking about it, guilds. What's the point of being in a guild? Is to see your buddy. So what would make sense if you could spectate?
Right.
So maybe that's working together. Hopefully,
I hope so, man. I hope so.
I mean,
we need it.
Mhm.
Big time. We need it.
It would just help. Like, it's you've no idea how much
Yeah.
it would help on production and stuff like that. Because it basically means, like, instead of trying to capture each player's screen. If it's either just through wire, or you literally just launch the game on your own PC. Capture anyone can do it. Like the way you stream, you literally just capture the screen and you're good to go. That's all.
Yep.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
And also
Yeah.
swapping between players is like a huge thing because I mean we had it during Creator Clash where it was like okay, if someone snaps for 8 and then the game's over in like 2 minutes, then if you're doing a round of Swiss or like any other kind of bracket style format, well, everyone else's games are still going on. So if you only have a one stage setup, well, what do? Do we just fill time for 30 minutes? Or do you switch to another game, right? So there's so many things that I wish I could speak to them about, and I want to know their thoughts on it, right? Because I feel like if you introduce something like a spectator mode, I nearly feel like the community takes care of the rest. The community is able to put on more events and really highlight why this is a good thing. So I'd love to. It's the one thing that I've asked and I've heard nothing about. So I hope.
Well, see, and it makes sense to me too, because for tournaments to go on, people have to be really passionate to do it. For us to pull off the tournaments that we pulled off and to have everything come together and get the internet and the location and get all these people to coordinate from all around the world to come together to play a game together, to be able to do that, like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta feel this. You gotta feel like, I mean, we've felt the support, but like that would literally be, and not even us. I think if spectator mode, like it would help so many other people. Like the thing that I would love if there was never a Creator Clash 3, which I really hope there is. If there was never, I really hope that our events inspired people, or even if they introduce something like spectator, we get another 3 dudes or any people to put on amazing events like that. Like that's what I want to see. If I actually, for once, I do want to be on the spectating end of watching and seeing what an event like this is like, you know, instead of running around and having the stress of organizing it all, you know?
Yeah. Ken, what do you think about another Creator Clash?
I think we have plenty of venues to choose from now, which is even better. Internet issues is covered, so we're good there. Spectator mode will be a huge help. So we don't have to worry about setting up, OBS layouts and worrying about who's in full screen, who's not in full screen. And, I think it'd be great for spectator mode. That would really push that whole thing. And also, again, somebody to be behind, especially like Second Dinner, that would say, we'll help sponsor X, Y, and Z. I think that's the way to go. I mean, in the beginning, it was, hey, guys, it's a new game. We're all in the beta. We're having fun. Let's hang out. Now, they've been playing the game for 2 years, right? So now it's like, all right, you guys want to come hang out again? And, it all depends. And I think they want to come out, yes, but not just on their dime or just for fun. So I think to do that, I think Second Dinner will have to feel comfortable, of course, to be like, let's back these guys to do this, but we need the tools to make it as big as we imagine it to be. Being able to, like you said, change the locations, that'd be huge, or tone it down, right? Being able to set ban lists, right? I really hope Snap, especially in Conquest mode, gives us a side trunk that we can go and take cards from, because being in Conquest and you're up against a card list that will just annihilate your card list is like, all right, it's over. I might as well just retreat the whole way through. But if you had a chance to switch cards, like these are things I think they need to make the competitive scene a real competitive scene. And I think if those things come to the game, then it'd be huge. I mean, I love what they did with the whole couples thing, giving a different take on these cards. And I think stuff like that, more stuff like that, will be great to be able to do on a controlled area, right? So we could say, all right, guys, if you play this card and this card, you get +3. Like those type of things we could do to make it even more fun and even more exciting and even more, unforgettable, right? Because you see things happen like, oh, that's the biggest part about it. So I would love to see 3.0.
Go ahead.
And that's one thing. Like when we were talking about Cube Rush, one thing that I tried to do with Cube Rush was I try to come up with a different format every week. I didn't want to just do the same thing over and over again. It was going to be boring. So I wanted to do teams or this or draft or whatever, we could come up with. And I think, well, you're talking about spectator mode. That's number one. Need that, because I kind of got lost a while ago. But my point was, if you can do spectator mode, you make it a lot easier that it's not just us, the super dedicated, that will hold tournaments and do stuff. It will be people that's just like, oh, this is cool. This is easy. Let me try to do a tournament. Let me try to stream with some friends. Like, it will grow the game in that sense. And we'll just help with the Twitch experience of watching people's games and stuff, and everything kind of looking more uniformed than everyone looking a little different. But just that. And then being able to have the control, like that's one thing. Like battle mode is fantastic, but it's overshadowed now because you got Conquest. So battle mode is just sitting there not really doing anything.
Mhm.
So if you just updated it with a feature of being able to do like all cards. So like if you play against the friends, like we've talked about this before, where people can use it to test out new cards before they purchase them with tokens or spend spotlights on it. But also it lets you do tournaments where it's more friendly to people that, hey, I've heard about this game. I'm a competitive player from this other game, but I don't want to go spend $500 in 3 months making my account where I can play the best tournaments. It allows other people to come in and play in tournaments with
Right.
using all the cards. So being able to do stuff like that, or like I said, kind of more the QBrush mindset of being able to be like, hey, we're going to have a weekly tournament. This week, the locations, this is the list of locations that are common, and they're lean towards more destroy decks. So not necessarily, but like that's kind of your focus. So that's kind of what the players could plan for, and be able to change that up. That's something that could be interesting, and people could do to entice the viewership in.
Hell yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think more formats is definitely going to be interesting moving forward. I think it's not really an issue with more formats, but I've talked about this with Raven a lot. It's like the issue sometimes that I would feel if they introduce a lot of formats or too many formats. We've seen it in Hearthstone as well. Is that some formats get lost, some formats aren't as popular anymore and stuff like that. But I think with only technically 2 formats at the moment, because I wouldn't even call battle mode a format, like you said, Luke, right? There's no real, unless you just want to challenge your friend and have a casual thing, which is great. But originally I did kind of envision Conquest to be a little bit different. I think what it is now is great, but I think overall what I'm just trying to say is we all want more. We will always want more, realistically, right? We will always want more. But I think if something spicy comes down the road that is going to spark our interest and spark the community's interest, that will then motivate us to want to do something as amazing as it was. Like I've said it from the beginning, exactly the same. If they did another, like if they did Series 6, right, which we don't want because it might cost 10,000 tokens or something like that. But if they did another card pool or just introduced loads into Series 3 and Series 4 and Series 5 all at once, it would be awesome, because you do a tournament, you say, okay, you guys have pretty much only been able to buy 1 or 2 of these cards, so whatever cards you guys brought, let's jam. Like that would be so fun to see for sure.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, guys, this is a fun part. We're gonna do some dream booking. Okay, so if you had to book for Creator Clash 3, who are the streamers that you want to show up to Creator Clash 3? All right, book it for me, guys. A handful of people.
Give me names.
Oh man, of course we're gonna want our boy Alex Cochia in the building. Okay. Alex got to come back, right? We need the champ from the first one to show up, Ordinary Harry, and the champ from number 2, Landy. So those 3, hands down, I want to show up.
Okay, all right.
100%. I want.
Kawa, sorry.
My dream would be, I want to double how much we had. So I want 32 creators. I want want big names and I want small names. I want people from all around the world. I'm telling you right now, there's about 6 players, and this is what's going to be really cool. Is you kind of get competitive players and just content creators together. That's what Creator Clash is kind of about, bro. Some of the Koreans who play Marvel Snap, I've got my ass banked by them before, man. Honestly, they're super, super good. So I'd love to see, shout out to Johnson. He's an amazing Korean creator. I'm going to be playing in the Johnson Cup soon.
I will too. So that's awesome.
It's one of the best formats. Yeah. I got to say, like, as we did Creator Clash, he does like a 3v3 King of the Hill type of, tournament format. It is absolutely dope. So I'd love to see some of the Koreans. Just get as many people involved in that from around the world as possible. Yes. Obviously, it's a huge dream because it's really hard to connect everyone and get like a central location. But I'd also love to see some amazing female creators, right? I want Nina back. I want Eggs back. I want Felicity. There's so many. I want Z again. We had Z at the UK Creator Clash. I want as many people as possible. And of course, I want Ben Bro to cast one of the games. How sick would that be? That'd be
awesome.
Look at that. Loot, you got anybody?
Any names?
Yep. So right off my bat, what I was thinking about was Eggs, because y'all were just talking about names. just because Eggs was so awesome, just in general, she was one of the ones that moves
facts.
around New York and all that stuff. She was, basically a part of the group. Like she was basically helping us wrangle everyone together and meet up.
I'm an
for
X
stuff
fan too. I'm a big X fan.
Yeah,
so, I'm with you on that.
And she did phenomenal. She came in third,
Fourth,
right?
Fourth.
People's champs too. Yeah.
Didn't she come in third in UK? Or was she the people's choice again?
She was the people's choice.
Yes.
Twice in a row, wasn't it? Twice in a row.
Yeah.
So you gotta have her back to have a three-peat chance at that.
Yes.
And then, but what y'all were talking about, see, I want to see Lammy and
Harry for sure.
Harry, yes, like if I'm organizing, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm rigging it first round. We're putting them in there. Just first round.
We're putting Harry on the top, Lambie at the bottom. You guys figure it out. You got to make it to the end. That's what we want.
Oh, right? No. I want it first round. I'm not waiting.
You know what?
I want to
open the show with that.
Luke, you're the truth, Luke. Luke, that's why I told you, I ain't got to say nothing. I'm going to leave it in Luke's hand.
I also got to say, I want to see my boy, this dude has been performing Snap tournaments for so long, and I got a cool story now. So my boy Moyen, who I do my Lorcana podcast with, he went on some hot streak a few months ago. He was like Snap.fan, win, Snap.fan, win. All he was like weekly tournaments, absolutely banging it out. Then my guy came along, won Twitch Rivals Marvel Snap, and then just what, I'm gonna vanish for a little bit. He's coming back for the Snap.fan World Championship. So return of Moyen to Marvel Snap. I swear, this dude, any card game he touches, he's a genius. So I cannot wait to see him. I cannot wait to see his return.
Yeah, definitely want to see everybody, man. I mean, everybody that 32 people we have more than 32. We got.
Sino, who do you want? Who do you want?
Oh man, I'm a fan of the heavy hitters, man. I'm a fan. I want to see Binks in there.
Hell yeah!
I would really like to see Binks in there. I would really like to see Dexter show up. Shout out, and he said Alex. I could see Cozy. I want to see the heavy hitters in there. I want to see I want to see Mo go crazy about the game in the middle of the tournament. I want to see all that. I want to see all that drama. I love it, man. Make it good. No, I'm just I was a big fan of the first two, so I can't wait to see what you guys got cooking up for the future. You guys couldn't make a 1-year tournament happen, but you made a 1-year doc happen, so everybody can enjoy this. They can look back on some of the old tournaments and enjoy some of that. Well, I appreciate you guys coming through and talking. Where can we find you guys? Luke, we're gonna start with you.
I'm still at LootMuncher 3 on X and on Threads. That's the only two things I really do anymore. I just post my things. It's funny. There's one person that followed me over or found me on Threads, and every day they're the only person that likes my custom cards. I get one like on Threads every day.
Yes.
And I'll keep going for that one person.
Hell yeah.
Right. You damn right. Now, I enjoy watching your stuff on Twitter, bro. I really enjoy the art and everything that you bring. So keep doing it, bro. Keep grinding.
Appreciate it.
Kawa, where can we find you, bro?
It's Kawatech_CG on Twitter. I tweet about so many card games these days. So if you guys are interested in even expanding your Snap knowledge, hit me up. I'm playing so many card games these days. It's just Kawa on Twitch and then Kawa on YouTube as well.
Nice. And STG, where can the people find you at, brother?
SuperTechGod on Twitch, SuperTechGod on Twitter, or X, sorry, and then STG Marvel Snap over on YouTube.
All right, nice. And I am the top 5 best snappers in the world. Sino. Because I snapped that hot fire. And you can find me on Twitch at Sino Montana 829. You can find me on the Marvel SnapCast, of course, here and with my boy co-hosting with STG. And you can find me on Twitter at Sino Montana. All right, guys, I had fun. Thank you guys for coming by. I hope you guys had fun. I had and remember, guys, these guys started it. These guys are the king. Creator Clash started the movement. Now you see all these other tournaments out there. Nah, these guys were first. All right, they started the movement. They're the godfathers. So when you're appreciating all these other tournaments outside, and all these other people, pay homage to the boys right here. All right, guys.
That's awesome.
That's
awesome,
it. That's
man.
what we got for it. All right, man. Later.
Peace.
Appreciate it.